Like I first should have realized that, like, you know, I should have had a contract, because mind you, know, we did all of this work despite making so much money and gaining so much views off of it and all of these videos doing so well. I was doing all this under the table, you know. He didn't give me a contract to sign or nothing like that. So
he didn't give you a contract? He didn't pay you for like that many videos, all those videos you edited? Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Suda breaks off him. Suda breaks off him. You can't live like that, bro. Cloud is a scammer. Working for content creators is basically a scam. Did I lose you? Did I get y'all? Come on. Now, if you don't know, video by Omeezy. Cloud's been in this whole ret. Now, I don't personally think that he is the type of person that was scamming people, but a lot of these YouTubers apparently are being outed for being bad bosses, because, you know, you're employing other people to work with you and they're not the best of co-workers or best of bosses. You have people on payroll, you're not paying them, or you're just an asshole straight up. So I don't know him personally, right? My dog, that's my dog, Cloud. But we gonna find out and see if the situation is real or what's in these waters. Without further ado, while I tricked you and you here, subscribe.
She been comment me.
Platform to one of the most hated. If you thought for any reason she might be playing a character or is faking I started working for Nina last year, and since then, she's gone from one of the fastest growing streamers on the platform to one of the most hated. If you thought
I watched this video from him.
For any reason she might be playing a character or is faking any dramatic
Now this nigga here, he definitely got hold. He got hold.
acts or clicks on stream, I'm here to tell you that it's so much worse than you can imagine behind the scenes.
What the f are you doing? Hold the stream like this. No, walk. I'm gonna show you how to do it. Walk. 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 Oh, sorry. What the f are you doing? Hold the stream.
I mean, you were short, but it was like diagonal.
Like this. No, walk. I'm gonna.
The thing is, I think people just don't really understand how to voice their frustrations. Like, say something happens, if he was sideways and you saw it, is he wearing a if it was sideways, you don't even tell him, you just kind of and it bothers you and you internalize that. If you would have just got it out on the first go and told somebody, they probably would have tried to make an effort, and then you probably wouldn't have been. By the fourth time you see it tilted, you getting mad, you tweaking on people, and you could have just told them that first time so that you're not as mad towards the end, if that makes sense.
Walk. Oh, sorry.
a lot of these creators, they're not good people. They're not people who want to help you. I don't care how willy-nilly or how nice they come across the camera. A lot of these people, it's a business at the end of the day, and they're only out for themselves and their brands and their image.
I think
that's the guy from Cloud's joint.
2018, the term creator economy was coined, meaning that there was now enough money into the space that people were having to hire editors and thumbnail makers and all these other things as a support system in order to make the content go. But I'm gonna keep it 100% with you. Behind the scenes, content creator economy, the employees and staff is mostly a Wild West situation. Most of these people are young people employing their friends, family members, or some Discord mod to do some sort of big project with them. And then one day they blow up and the stakes raise, but that doesn't mean anybody knows a lick about any sort of professionalism. There's been this pattern that I'm seeing recently of streamers.
You gotta realize a lot of people aren't made for businesses the same way a lot of people are to be business owners. A lot of people aren't made for a lot of regular things, like just being in the gym consistently over time. Some people aren't built to, be in school and be studying. So why are we? It's just like you gotta keep that in mind, because it's like people are now putting people under their payroll and they might not be the right person, but because they just blew up and things got a little bit too hectic, they gotta start hiring people. You gotta keep that in mind. It's just not, now that you have employees, now you gotta be the best, the greatest of. Nah, get up out of there. You gotta just be realistic.
Content creators, TikTokers, or whoever getting ousted and doing insane things behind closed doors to the people that help support them in their journeys and endeavors. And though it is not always the case, content creators can be some of the worst people to work with. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. If we
Subscribe
get
to
more,
me too,
we can
homies.
have just a day away from these daily uploads. Trust me, ankle. I'm drowning too, buddy. Now, back into the video. This video isn't necessarily about one creator. It's about this pattern that I'm seeing. But I think we have to understand the foundation of what's going on and how we even got here to really understand the madness that we see today. Most content creators didn't start off as business owners. They were people who most likely consumed social media and wanted to attempt it. Maybe not even in the hopes that they would become some sort of big or famous person, but truly, this is just what everybody's doing. There's no team, there's no responsibility, there's no structure, but now there's editors, there's thumbnail makers, there's people who write scripts, there's cameramen, there's agents. People are starting to rely on.
I'm doing this shit all dolly just for y'all. So, man, let me give myself flowers real quick. You think I want to? I want to do this shit. You think I want to do this shit? I want to pay somebody to do it. I'd rather pay somebody to do it.
This income that is built off the back of one person, maybe two people if there's like a group channel type situation. And this is where things fall apart. The content, the views, the audience, the eyes grow, but the professionalism never really does. Recently, content creator OneCloud9 got called out by his ex-editor Alex. Now, because I do have / had a relationship with both parties involved, this is a very, very interesting topic. With that being said, I feel like I can really be unbiased in this situation as Alex drops a video, OneCloud's ex-editor, detailing about how he initially started working with this content creator who was his friend IRL under this handshake.
All right, y'all get ready. I'm gonna have to do that not clickbait, but that clip for the beginning of the video. I'm gonna have to do it when it comes to. I'm gonna be like, oh, Cloud a bit. I'm gonna have to improv a little bit. Put that in the beginning of the video.
Take agreement.
Here's where like I first should have realized that like, you know, I should have had a contract, because mind you, know, we did all of this work despite making so much money and gaining so much views off of it and all of these videos doing so well. I was doing all this under the table, you know. He didn't give me a contract to sign or nothing like that. So
he didn't give you a contract? He didn't pay you for like that many videos, all those videos you edited? Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Sue the brakes off him. Sue the brakes off him. You can't live like that, bro. Cloud is a scammer. How was that, y'all? Was that good?
to be paid, there wasn't a system for me to be paid. Like, you'll ask him to be paid and then he'll just ignore you for like 12 hours or like a day. Mind you, people that work for Cloud, since he's a business, people like have to pay their bills and like rent and all these other things because this is their job. And Cloud will purposely like drag his feet to not pay people because
Purposely?
it's like
Purposely how? Where's the proof?
an ego thing. Like, just because he knows he can and he feels good knowing that people asking him for money, you know what I mean? And he'll either ignore you and be like, I got you, or he'll be like, oh, I gotta get the money situated. But you'll see him like go live on Twitch and just start like laughing, frolicking, or you'll see him like on Instagram just chilling or playing the game. But he won't pay you until he feels he's ready to pay you.
He goes in depth and detail about how he had to chase payments.
Well, that's his job, right? How is he gonna pay you if you don't go live? You can argue. It's like, oh, you owe me money? Why are you going to work? Why are you going to work right now? You owe me money. Why are you going to your job? But it's like, I guess as a streamer, you are a little bit more flexible. So I could literally be up here like this, play the video, and be on my phone and just pay you real quick. Depending on like if he Zelle him, he Cash App him, he pretty sure he probably Zelle him or whatever. I guess that's fine. Especially if you see her talking about bull, like some BS, you know?
And after falling out with OneCloud over some trips to Miami and stuff like that, he decided that once it was time to work back with him after OneCloud reached out, that it was time to get on contract. He couldn't agree on the terms of the contract with the manager, and then ultimately the relationship ends pretty messy, if I do say so myself. Now, the reason why this matters is because you'll notice throughout the video that
And another thing, they're both kind of slow for trying to text. Hop on FaceTime. Be real men about this. We gonna have a conversation, something serious about terms, and we going back and forth. I can't even spell that well. If you don't call me and we talk about this, yo, nah, because the thing is, I don't want, the tone is missing. I don't want extra work. Don, it's not going to be extra work, bro. It's not going to be extra work. How can I make sure of that? I mean, I would want it just a flat, you know what I'm saying? Rather than, I don't want extra work. It's not extra work. How do you know? Because I won't give you extra work. Hell no.
Content creators aren't structured people. For the most part, these are kids, like young adults who have just started into this lane. Some of them don't have jobs, have never had jobs. If they do have some sort of job, it's something in fast food or retail on a small scale, and then they jump into the content creation lane. They don't know anything about business. They don't know anything about taxes, lawyers, contracts, direct deposits. They don't know how to do these things or how to set up these things. And for the most part, a lot of these things are expensive and an afterthought when you're running your own one-man show. So a lot of these situations that I'm going to talk about down in the comment section, I know people are going to say, well, if they just did this from a structure perspective, put this system in place, that system in place, the third and the fourth, it's not that simple. And ultimately, the reason why
I'm not saying it will be that simple. I'm just saying communication, for me to know where you are, everything like this can be a lot more resolved. Right now, we both sitting here overstimulated. We both sitting here. No, but you know what I'm saying? Why don't we just get on the phone and say, yo, this is how I feel. This is why I feel this way. Yo, this is how I feel. This is why I feel this way. And I can understand where you're coming from. But, and then if it goes to shit from there, then it goes to shit from there. But you can't sit here and text and just like, I don't know, you got to make a clean, clear, big effort to try and resolve as much as possible. Texting, it seems they did too much texting. You shouldn't even be texting about stuff like that many times from the few screenshots they showed.
Cloud situation with his editor failed is because it was a no structure environment that ended with a failed structure. How many times do I say structure? Somebody put a structure counter down below. OneCloud9 responds to all of these allegations, giving heavy pushback. I do want to cover both videos in length, so I'll probably do that tonight on stream on YouTube. Please, if you're watching this video, tap the button, click into the stream. Only after you finish watching the video, though. Watch the video first. He pushes back on the payment conversation, saying that, you know, it's not about not paying him, but more so timing and communication. Maybe you got paid a day late, maybe a couple hours late. But especially in these types of environments, not a direct deposit situation where the check hits your account at exactly 2:30 a.m. You're still waiting for a content creator who is probably taking hours to record a video, make a thumbnail, do a bunch of...
See, that's what I was saying. I mean, I don't know if Cloud edit his own stuff a little bit or here and there, but I'm pretty sure your mind is always rampant, and it can look like from behind the camera, it can look like you're just wasting time or you're not doing it. Like right now, I'm recording a YouTube video. It's not live. So from perspective, I just haven't posted. I'm not doing nothing. People not knowing that posting is one part of the whole thing. You got to record it, edit it, you got to thumbnail it, you got to promote, you got to do all these other things. So like I feel where Omeezy is coming from
other stuff to then pay you, which would also make it make sense as to why there was communication issues. Busy guy, lack of communication. I'm gonna be honest with you, if he was communicating fast, he probably is somebody who needs to, you know, ramp up his work life. And maybe that's just a negative way of thinking, but hey, the communication issues were ultimately there, but they were justified, at least by OneCloud's tale of him being busy. But they were still happening nonetheless. As far as the pushback on the contractual obligations and things go, OneCloud9 claims that there was a bunch of back and forth and, you know, different things being said, a he said, she said game about the details of said contract. But what's mostly important here is that there was a verbal agreement, never anything that was...
Both these motherfuckers going on ChatGPT. She's saying, yo, can you make me a contract that this? They're actually not even typing it. They doing this. ChatGPT, can you make me a contract that states, I want this, I want this, I want this, but I don't want this. Send it over. Whoom. The other person get it. Whoo. And then you're like, ChatGPT's talking, and you put it in. They're like, let me check this with ChatGPT real quick. ChatGPT, is this a good contract? Well, he's like, you know that all ChatGPT be doing? They're like, well, yeah, I can see where your contract says. You like, what changes can I make to better what's it called? And it's like, send it up, and they just doing that back and forth from each other. I'm just talking.
Was concrete. And as we know, verbal agreements are he say, she say at best. You said one thing, I said another thing. It goes into this back and forth that ultimately ends up in them both not agreeing to any sort of contract, paying the amount of money owed, and then just ending ties with each other, ultimately ending a friendship as well. But this is probably the importance of putting something down on paper, making sure that everybody is aware of what's going on at all times. Now, the reason why this situation matters is because even though both sides explained the situation as best as possible, there's some core issues that are still there, which we'll see are continuous themes across content creators. There's no contract from the start. There's slow communication. There's verbal agreements that are unclear. There's this muddying of the waters in the relationship dynamic, friends turning into business associates, which we know doesn't always work out the best. And there's just a lack of professionalism from
I don't know if I would ever do that. I don't think I have any friends that like fully align with what I would like, the directions I would take certain things. I don't think I fully align with any of my friends. It'd be hard, and I agree with that, because it's like, out of the friendship, I feel I can ask a few of my friends, up to 5 of them, let's start something. Let's do, clothes, or let's do this training, or like certain things like that. But it's because of the friendship that's pulling it together, not because of our mission is aligned.
the top to bottom. Hell, even in their attempts of being more professional, I do feel as though it was hard to start the professional arc if the structure wasn't there from the beginning. So it's not just about who's right and who's wrong. I'll get into that on the stream, but it's more so about how fragile these working relationships are. That's why your parents put you in sports or in clubs. When you have teenagers with no real professional background or no real structure, things are bound to fall apart. Now, for what it's worth, I feel like this was probably the most tame instance of videos that I've seen about content creators having issues with their employees. The Nina Lynn situation is one that took the cake for me, and it really exposed how nasty the content creator economy can really be.
Nina would appear on Juicy's Could Have Been Love shortly after this era, and her first couple streams would consist of her and the Could Have Been Love cast reacting to the episodes. I would end up posting the first reaction, and it would immediately start taking off. At this time, I was running live channels for Jimmy, Arky, and Nina all at the same time, but the fact that these videos are blowing up so soon showed that the potential was unreal. But yeah, I would keep posting from here on out, and eventually, from these first few videos, the channel was already eligible for monetization. This was the first red flag, and as you'll see along this story, I ignored so many red flags. The red flag in this case was the fact that I think it literally took...
The red flag was Nina. But I feel what he's saying. We didn't know. Honestly, her voice would have been too deep for me. I would have known something was up.
Over a month for her to even get around to monetizing the channel. I would make group chats with her and Jimmy for her to go completely ghost in them, and she couldn't respond because she has ADHD or something. I don't know. But Jimmy would try his best to help me along this journey to get it monetized, and would ask Nina a few times for her to put in her details, which is so crazy because she's literally the one missing out on a ton of money. Like, it's not just me.
And I just said this in the other video, because I watched that video. I'm like, I would have swiftly maneuvered my card. I would have tripped in my card information. My bank information would have been in that phone. I would have just tripped in. Oh, damn. I just got wired some money from YouTube.
Anyways, the channel got monetized. And for some reason, I trusted that the payment would just work out at the time, since I didn't really know any past controversies from her. And because I knew some of the people around her at the time who I trusted. And obviously they didn't know either.
Nina Lynn would be exposed by her channel manager / editor for lack of payment and lack of professionalism and lack of communication from Nina Lynn's end. What she did to him to really hammer home the point that she doesn't give a fuck about him will really put the icing on the cake in this whole situation. But ultimately, just like in the OneCloud situation, from the beginning of this, it was a red flag recipe of disaster when there wasn't much structure at the top of the situation, which led to the bottoming out. Nina Lynn's channel manager would get this job based off of recommendation. It used to not be a LinkedIn / Indeed for content creators out in the space. You usually got this through word of mouth, some sort of random DM, friend of the family, or one of your...
I got an email from a random person saying, yo, let me edit your videos. Yo, can I take... I asked how much. They told me. This was back when like I was doing YouTube for like I don't know, like 2 months. He said, I said, how much, bro? He said, the price. He said, the price. Let me just leave it at that. He said, the price. I said, yo, go to hell, bro. I'm not even monetized yet. You want me to just do this off the strength? Love of the game? Sorry. No.
Discord people that you're in community with steps up and says, hey, I want to help you out. They came to a verbal agreement, again, verbal agreement about how things should go. Hey, you're going to help Nina Lynn monetize this channel. And then from there, we'll worry about payments. That's not how things work.
Yes,
when you sign on to a
dumb.
job, there's not a section in the payment column that goes, we'll work things out. These are things that you usually get on paper explicitly so that you're not chasing the paper later down the line. I was trying to make a paper, contract and paper money. I'm getting kind of bad at this. But so the work gets done, the channel gets monetized, and the communication, if there was any at the beginning, goes ghost, radio silent. And how Nina Lynn is responding to all this makes her look even worse than anybody imaginable.
I would also talk to Nina at TwitchCon and ask her to check her phone and respond to her texts about me asking her to pay me. And I would show the clip, but low-key it's too cringe to watch back. I think someone got like a 20-30K like banger tweet on my head about the confrontation, but thankfully it got taken down. And I would actually go up to her again a few days later at Silky's party because she was still airing my texts. She ended up telling me some bullshit excuse about like she was talking with an agency or something and would sort it out within a
Is this something you can sue her for? Because you are doing a service, but it was all verbal. That's why everything done in the court of law is usually used on paper, business-wise. Damn, I don't even know if he could do anything besides slander. That's probably why he's making the video. I can't even get money. I'm going to get money through this video slandering her, and I'm going to get money. Then I'm going to get satisfaction by just airing her shit out and just cooking her. Just grilling her.
few days, but since then I've never gotten a text. I just get like a thumbs up on my message, which I don't understand why you wouldn't just respond at that point. But yeah, it was pretty much safe to say that I was done working for her after this.
Damn, at least one cloud was responding to the text, Nina. It might have been late, but you just dubbing the man. I'm kidding. Worse than the one Cloud 9 situation, Nina Lynn ghosts this man IRL. Even when he pushes up on her and asks her about, any sorts of payments or anything like that, she invalidates him by basically ignoring him, not saying anything.
At that point, you gangster too. At that point, you are a mob boss. Someone confronts you about money, and you like, anyways, damn, that's a movie.
Giving
shit.
him the who are you treatment. Like that's even beyond disrespectful from like a lack of communication. I'm late with communication type situation. At this point, you're playing with me. Like playing with me to a whole different extreme. I'm not here to victim blame, but these things definitely could have been avoided if we just looked at the patterns of, past situations when it comes to content creators. Work tied to future revenue? No. That doesn't make any sense. If I do work for you today, I look to be paid today. I'm not cutting your grass on Monday for the hopes that grass trees grow on Thursday so I can come and collect on Friday. That just doesn't make any sense. No contract involved, only verbal agreements. We know that that's bad. And then once money is involved, communication just goes out the window. It starts off as an opportunity and it ends up with no accountability based on that same pattern. No structure, no protection. But at the end of the day, the one that keeps losing is the worker in all this.
And this one is probably even harder or worse because if you would have called her ass, she probably wouldn't have answered that shit. She was over here acting like she didn't know you in person. You definitely just gonna block my number. No, you not. You just gonna let it ring, which is almost even worse. Like you really just don't care about me.
One of the main problems is that content creators feel as though, hey, once I do pay this person or once this person is working for me, I am entitled to do whatever I want to this person. I can talk to them however I want. I can pay them however I want. I can do all these different things to this person however I want. And when I mean anything I want, they'll do anything, even if it means disrespecting them.
And you set the fucking camera up on some lazy shit and sat on your phone for 10 fucking minutes. I let it slide. I ain't say shit until you got on your phone and I said something. Right? You can't do that at no job. No call center, no Verizon, no nothing, nigga.
You wanna get me tight? You wanna start talking this shit? Then we're gonna do it on camera. I'll do it. How many times you fucking hold me, not pay me, do any of that shit?
Man, stop playing. Get the fuck out of here, my nigga. Get the fuck out of here.
Send me $20 for 3 days of shoots.
Oh! Can you imagine going to work for 3 days, following around a little little munchkin dummy boy like this one here. Annoying as hell. And they throw you a 20. You might as well spit in my face and they go, don't get me tight. Stupid. Here. Go to Jack in the Box. That's crazy. 3 days of shooting. Yeah, he was waiting for this moment. He been at home like 3 days of shooting. I had 3 days shooting, $20. $20, 3 days shooting. Motherfucker bitch. You bitch that nigga. Can't wait to air his shit out. If you don't pay me one more time, I'm gonna get one more chance. If you don't pay me one more time, I'm finna snap. This is that moment right here.
Bro, I'll knock you the fuck out, my nigga. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, bro.
He said the truth, and then he said, I'm gonna knock you out. Crazy.
What the fuck are you doing? Hold the stream like this. No, walk. I'm gonna show you how to do it. Walk, nigga. Walk. Oh, sorry. I'm paying this nigga damn near $200. You better get right. He held the stream for 30 minutes. What the fuck is we doing?
I get the idea of not being satisfied with your
I'm new. Give me some bail. Hold it yourself.
work that you're getting from an
it was kind of crooked.
employee. Trust me, I've been there, done that, and bought the t-shirt. Ankle, this it's not about you. It's not about you right now. I'm satisfied with your work. You do a great job. I would never do this to you.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
But the idea of trying to publicly embarrass the employee that you have hired just doesn't sit right with me. This right
Emergency, hold on.
here is the ego problem. This right here is a situation in which content creators should be held fully accountable for their egotistical and narcissistic manner. Just because you pay somebody doesn't mean you have the right to do whatever, whenever you want to. In Dean the Great's case, he's probably not even factoring in that, you know, I'm on stream for 6 straight hours. I should probably give my camera person a break to, I don't know, check their phone every once in a while, go to the bathroom, eat some food, etc., etc. And then has the nerve to even go about saying those things when you've only paid this man $20. You haven't been paying this person. Get the fuck out of here. In a situation with Samia, I mean, just train him. I don't even understand how this is such an issue.
What if he has a girlfriend already though? Then what? What if he just doesn't want to be trained? What if why we have to make it sexual? Easy. Why we always gotta make it sexual? That's my question.
Later on, I find out that it is her brother in question, and she just grabbed him up to be a camera person. He'd only been doing the job for a little while, but I don't understand why you expect him to know everything to be a master level camera person. And even more so, cool, he's messing up. But that doesn't mean that you publicly embarrass him like this in the mall. Now, I get
But that's how siblings be though. Like my sister will hit me in the face, hit me in the head, and sometimes it get me tight. Like, bro, what are you doing? Why are you so? It makes me think. Are you one of those people that beat men? You know what I'm saying? But nothing. Stop hitting me, Mercedes. Let me say this. Hold on, y'all. Y'all look away. Skip 10 seconds real quick. Stop hitting me before I kick that dog.
Content creators have a lot of pressure on them. Ultimately, something that was supposed to be fun in games has been built into something that is serious and almost like an empire. People are relying on you and depending on you to, you know, pay them and support their lifestyle via the work that they're doing for you. And that can be tough. Granted, you do get to experience the high highs and the good months. You know, you get to roll around in that good euphoric experience. But when there's low months, when there's slow months, and even when there's months where you're not making any money, you still have to support the people who are there helping you on a day-to-day basis. So I get it. You can be testy. You can give some demands that may be a little bit too much.
Yeah, if it's a slow month for you as a creator, imagine what the non-creator, what their month is looking like. Guess how slow their month is looking
to the average person. But that does not mean that you get to disrespect somebody who is doing a job for you.
He doesn't have to say it, but he's testing me. Say it. He doesn't have to say it. Like, it could be just bygones. It's like, I'm a bitch. Oh! They didn't think I was gonna do it.
How do you feel now?
I feel good. We even.
Shit. So you're gonna buy me a new computer. That's 4K.
He's gonna break it on purpose.
I'm not gonna break it. It's there. How did this even start? Because I know I didn't call you a bitch.
Yeah, gang, I don't know how to justify.
Bro threw a milkshake at his noggin. Milkshake at my noggin. They call me Krispy Kreme. I gotta get in the shower and I gotta go get clean. I'm not Mr. Clean. Ice cream in my hair is sticky. I'm sick. I'm mad. Now I gotta start babysitting kids. Call me Vicky. I'm wicky. I'm moving around with that sticky. I got that pole on me, and you know it's getting real icky. I move with that blicky. Don't tell me none. The milkshaker in generational wealth. I'm aiming at your son. Yeah, I be doing that.
In no way, shape, form, or fashion is it reasonable to throw a milkshake or some sort of drink at somebody, let alone somebody who is doing a job for you. Now, maybe their dynamic calls for it. I can't imagine one that really does. Editor man, come on now. If this is the relationship dynamic, let's change that. But Keneal Joseph totally steps out of bounds here, and it's all because this editor was taking too long on uploading a video. What happens is that these people leverage these relationships that they have. They say that they're friends, they're family, they're fans of said creator, and this is the way that they get treated. They get treated as disposable and replaceable, ultimately because there's a power dynamic and imbalance that is involved. The reality is that
I feel like it's not even that though. I don't think it's that serious though. I feel like it just comes down to respecting people. If a person is shit, then you shit. But if a person is, it can go either way. I can have this complex where I feel like, okay, well, I'm paying you. You are a fan of me, and now you're editing for me. I could low key, and you know what I'm saying? There's that way. The other way is if I have so much respect and I'm okay, my editor do it, and my editor's like, they keep giving me grace. I don't care. I don't have no urgency to fix this. I don't gotta fix this. I don't have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna just take my time. Then that's an issue. And the last issue is if I'm, as the creator, being your friend and you as the editor is being my friend, and instead of having a friendly work relationship, we have a friendship which doesn't allow us to communicate properly on the same level, and then we just don't see eye to eye, and then now you can't work with friends in business. Well, not all the time necessarily, but you know what I'm saying? Like, now your friend is your business. Now when something's not right, you're kind of more scared and hesitant to tell them to fix it. And then miscommunication, frustration builds up, and then it all goes to what, guys? To shit.
that there's no accountability, no boundaries, no professionalism in the space. As creators get bigger and bigger and teams build out more and more, from the beginning, there needs to be some sort of standard set, contracts, payment systems, something bigger than just a handshake.
My contract would say, look, you getting paid this much. If I have a bad month and I make less than this, I can't pay you that no more. I have to pay you this new number here. Only if I ever have now my probability for the next 6 months, just so you know where your head's at. So if you have a house, you have plans, you got whatever you got going on, my probability of me making less than this to where your pay goes from, let's say, $200 a video. Because I'm getting paid $16,000 a month. Not 16. Let me say I'm getting paid $5,000 a month. I can pay you 200 for a video. If 1 month I ever make $2,000, I can't pay you $200 no more. And I'm putting that in writing and you sign it. My probability for the next 6 months is like 13%. There's probably maybe 1 month that I may not make $5,000. I might make $2,000 where your pay might be you know what I'm saying? I would just be like, that's communication. You see how I just did it? Off the willy-nilly. I'm talking on the phone. I'm not texting you that.
Agreements. They are scaling on the side of the back end as far as, people on their team, but they're not scaling with structure. So ultimately it will topple. But what often happens at times is that these kids are running themselves ragged with no sorts of structure, no systems in place. Hell, I'm gonna put you guys on some game here. Sometimes these creators don't even have bank accounts. They're just running around, putting money in this person's account, that person's account, still using Cash App, still using Chime, respectfully to those that use Chime. Maybe they started an LLC, but they aren't separating their business finances from their personal finances. And now you run into a situation where the delayed payments, poor organization, and worst of it all, streamers and content creators not paying for people who do work for events for them.
Boy, tax, IRS documents, you gotta pay, you gotta do that document. Some people think they just take your home money. Nah, you gotta pay that. YouTube tells you if you don't have a YouTube, what's it called? Your payout, your revenue's coming between next month. You have a pay threshold and a pay period. It says this is the amount you're gonna get before you get paid. Before tax or minus taxes or whatever. You still gotta do that document.
I know some of y'all remember me being on Rakai's stream when he had the boxing match, and me and Lori had fought, and then Magic had fought as well. Well, guess what? We didn't get our motherfucking money. I didn't get paid for winning, and I feel some type of way about that. It is 11/31, December 31st, 2025, and going into the new year, Rakai, I want y'all to send me my money. That's all I want. Whoever is on Rakai's team, y'all need to send us our money.
I could take the cam off so niggas don't see you rapping and shit.
No, you understand it. You
okay, I'm listening.
Money down.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Crazy, man.
So you gotta put the money down. Wait, explain to me. I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
You understand everything else I've been talking about the whole day.
Okay, so you saying niggas gotta break bread with the stream for you to rap?
Nah, you gonna bust the screen down.
Wait,
today. We splitting.
Okay, so we split the stream
revenue
for the day. That's for you to rap.
Yeah.
The core problem is that content creators are scaling.
Yeah, hell, and I'm sorry. Leave. I'd rather you walk off. Walk off on me. Go ahead, leave, baby. Was a fan. Used to be a fan. I'm no longer a fan. Go walk off. You're not getting half of this.
Faster than the systems that are being put into place. And part of me says that I don't blame them, because one day you might be making silly little internet videos, silly little commentary videos, silly little 2K videos or whatever to an audience of maybe 30 people, to overnight or over the course of weeks, maybe a few months, hundreds of thousands of people, let alone millions of people for some of these content creators watching your stuff. You're getting flooded with money, you're getting flooded with opportunity, and there's no real time or structure in place to school you on what to do. Hell, even somebody like me who knows better, I still haven't done my taxes for this year.
See? You see what I'm saying? Damn, soundboard's out. Hey, y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching, man. If you made this far, like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you pay your taxes. Make sure you are over communicating yourself so you aren't in positions like this. And make sure you just aren't believing anything on the internet, because we can all sit here and believe that Cloud was just scamming and doing this and doing it. And there's some truth to that because someone felt like that, right? But Buddy had like the weirdest evidence. Cloud, go watch Cloud's video. If y'all want, I can react to his video on the allegations against him. I think he did a good job of dispelling all of those narratives and almost rumors that were created against him about this paying thing. Without further ado, I love you to death, boy. I'll see you on the next one. I'm gone.